This is the Read, Write, and Create podcast, the podcast where you get a bite-sized session of creative writing coaching from me, Lori L. Tharps. I'm an award-winning author, a former college professor, and a literary activist. I created this show because I want to help as many BIPOC writers as possible get their stories out of their heads and into the world. Are you ready? Let's go. Hello, wordsmiths, storytellers, and scribes. Welcome back to the 4th season of the Read, Write, and Create podcast. If you're new here, thank you for coming, and I'm so glad you're taking your writing life seriously. If you're a returning listener, I hope you've had a productive and satisfying summer of word slinging, writing, and of course, reading. Today on the show, I just want to give you some quick updates and let you know what you can expect on this season of the podcast. So let's do the updates first. My first update is a personal one, and that one is that I completed a second draft of my new novel. Now, many of you may know me from my nonfiction work. I wrote the book Hair Story, Untangling the Roots of Black Hair in America, as well as Same Family, Different Colors, Confronting Colorism in America's Diverse Families. Or you might know me from my memoir, Kinky Gazpacho, Life, Love, and Spain. However, in the middle of all that nonfiction work, I did write a novel called Substitute Me. It came out 14 years ago. And that book, in my mind, was supposed to launch me into the world of best-selling novelists. But I got sidetracked by my career in journalism, ghostwriting, and academia. Long story short, I am actively recommitting myself to my original goal of being a novelist, and as such, I'm working on a lot of fiction. And so this new manuscript I am super excited about. And yes, it does still need a lot of work, but my goal was to get a draft done over the summer that I could give to beta readers by the end of August. And yes, I made that deadline. So I'm really excited about the novel because, like I said, it's always been my dream to be a novelist, but I'm also really excited about this particular story that I've conjured up because it incorporates some of my favorite things, such as women of a certain age, Black people, Spain, romance, and the power of storytelling. So stay tuned for updates on the journey of getting my book out into the world. I'll keep giving you guys updates on the podcast as those things unfold. My second update is that this is kind of hard for me to say, but I am starting a YouTube channel. Yes, indeed. I am joining the rest of the world, it seems like, and jumping onto YouTube. You can find me at Literary Lori on YouTube. Now, I'm going to be real. I know that I am, as a 50-plus-year-old woman, some people may say I have no business starting a YouTube channel. But I really am committed to using all of the options on Beyonce's internet to spread the gospel of storytelling by BIPOC writers. So if that means I have to jump on the YouTube train and ride it until somebody kicks me off or until all BIPOC writers are equally represented and appreciated in the publishing world, then that's just what I'm going to do. So feel free to go check out my new channel. It is new, so there's not a ton of content there yet. But if you subscribe, you'll be holding me accountable. It'll be a little nudge to make sure I stay consistent and, add new content there. I will be putting some of the same types of pep talks for BIPOC writers that I do here on the podcast on the YouTube channel. But I'll also be more sharing views from my literary life. I'm calling it a literary lifestyle channel. I'll also be sharing some literary tourism. And if you're scratching your head, what does literary lifestyle and literary tourism mean? I'm just going to let that be just enough to hope to get you to go on over there to @LiteraryLori and figure out what it is that I mean by sharing literary lifestyle and literary tourism content. That's what I'm going to try to do. That's my new trick. Keep me young with these other kids on the YouTube. Yes, I just said the YouTube. I know. I know, but I'm going to figure it out, and I hope to see some of you over there checking out the content. All right, my third update is that the Read, Write, and Create Sanctuary, that is our private membership community for BIPOC women writers who take their writing seriously, will be taking applications for new members starting on September 15th. The doors have been closed all summer, and we will be opening them up again for a short time. That will be September 15th through the 27th, 2024. And as a reminder, the sanctuary is for emerging writers and seasoned authors who want to get published and get paid. We are a community of, again, BIPOC women, nonfiction writers, fiction writers, short story writers, poets. Any genre is welcome in the sanctuary, but it is for writers who are aiming to get their work out into the world, to be published authors, to be professional authors and writers. So if you've been looking for a dynamic and supportive writing community to join, where you'll get resources, accountability, feedback, and instruction on your writing, not to mention the most supportive and amazing community of BIPOC women writers, then you should definitely add your name to the waitlist so you know when the application goes live. And finally, our last update, it's about the show. This season on the Read, Write, and Create podcast, Season 4. I cannot believe we're already up to Season 4, but yes, we are. Season 4. We're really going to be leaning into the creative writing coaching with more actionable advice that you can use in your writing practice today, like right now, so you can write now. As soon as you hit the pause button on your podcast platform when episodes are over, you can just get to work, start writing using the information, using the strategies and techniques that you heard on the podcast. And as I have done previously, but even more so, each episode will be inspired by a specific BIPOC literary ancestor. This season, you'll be hearing and learning about the writing life of Chester Himes, Gwendolyn Brooks, and a certain Mexican nun that you may or may not have heard of, but definitely counts as one of our literary ancestors. So you will be getting a literary history lesson and free writing advice in every episode. I say that's a win-win. And just to be clear, I want to make sure you guys understand why I use the lives and work of our literary ancestors to pull our literary lessons from. And it's really simple. It's because the way I see it, if our literary ancestors could overcome the overwhelming adversity that suffocated their lives as marginalized people, either by gender or by racial or ethnic background, if they could find ways to still write great books and other forms of literary magic given their circumstances, then you can too. That's facts. And that's why I use their life stories, their strategies, their work as inspiration and as a wellspring of knowledge and advice for our own literary lives. And yes, we will continue to share interviews with outstanding contemporary BIPOC authors to keep you inspired and motivated to keep writing. Some of the interviews you'll be hearing this season will be coming from my incredible archive of past episodes with celebrated BIPOC authors because their wisdom still rings true and their stories and strategies for success could be just what you need to hear to keep going, to keep writing. I'm super excited about this upcoming season, and I hope you are too. So that's it. Those are the updates. We have a new season on the podcast, a new YouTube channel, and the sanctuary is opening its doors to new members on September 15th. Yes, of course, I will leave links for everything in the show notes, including the Read, Write, and Create newsletter. If you want to sign up for that, the newsletter is now going to be 100% focused on sharing news, resources, and opportunities specifically for BIPOC writers. So if you want that juicy goodness right in your inbox, make sure you sign up for our newsletter, which will now be sent out twice a month. That's what you can look forward to this fall from me and the Read, Write, and Create team. Remember, if you're looking for more inspiration and information to optimize your writing life, visit the Read, Write, and Create website. That's at readwriteandcreate.com. Don't forget that read is spelled R-E-E-D, writeandcreate.com. The Read, Write, and Create podcast is produced by me, Lori L. Tharps. Our editor is Brad Linder, and our theme music is by Wataboy.